Beloved soul, you have whispered prayers into the silence of the night. You have cried with folded hands, asking for answers. You have begged for light when all you could see was darkness, and when no voice answered, when no miracle appeared. When no change seemed to come, you thought your prayers were ignored, but they weren't. Every prayer you ever sent, every tear that carried a hidden wish, every silent plea you buried in your heart, they were all heard. Nothing you have ever offered has been lost. Not a single word of yours has ever disappeared into emptiness. The truth is that prayers are never ignored. They are received, held, and answered in ways far beyond what you can yet understand. When you pray, you are not speaking to the air, you are opening your heart to the infinite. You are not alone in your longing. You are not unseen in your struggle. Your voice may feel small, but it echoes in eternity. What you think is silence is often preparation. What you think is delay is protection. What you think is rejection is redirection. Do you remember the times you wanted something so desperately, only to later realize it would not have been good for you? Do you remember the times when the door closed and you cried, only to find a better door waiting just ahead? This is how prayers are answered. Not always with immediate fulfillment, not always with the exact request, but always with what your soul truly needs. You asked for strength, and life gave you challenges that made you stronger. You asked for love, and life gave you the lessons to open your heart wider. You asked for peace, and life guided you through storms so you could discover the calm that lives within you. Prayers are not ignored. They are reshaped by wisdom greater than your own. Beloved, you must understand when you pray, you are not speaking to a distant figure in the sky. You are speaking to the very source of your being, the same force that beats your heart, the same light that shines in the stars, the same truth that breathes through all creation. It listens. It always listens. And it responds not in the language of human timelines, but in the eternal rhythm of divine timing. Yes, divine timing. This is the part you often resist. You want things now. You want them the way you imagine. But the universe is weaving a pattern far larger than you can see. A seed does not bloom the moment it is planted. Rain does not fall the moment the sky gathers clouds. The sunrise does not appear the instant night begins. Everything unfolds at the right moment. And so it is with your prayers. Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes it is not yet. Sometimes it is not this, but something better. If you could see the whole picture, you would never doubt. But since you cannot, you must learn to trust. Trust that you are heard. Trust that you are loved. Trust that nothing you ask with a sincere heart is ever wasted. Think of your life as a journey. Along the path, you make requests, guidance, help, blessings, relief, and each request is noted. But the path must unfold in a way that leads you to your highest growth. If every prayer were answered instantly in the way you demanded, you would not evolve. You would not gain wisdom. You would not discover the depths of your soul. Beloved, unanswered prayers are not ignored prayers. They are invitations. Invitations to grow, to trust, to surrender, to see beyond the surface. You thought your prayers vanished, but in truth, they became seeds. Seeds that were planted in the soil of time, waiting for the season of blooming. Do you know why patience is so hard? Because your heart longs, your mind worries, and your soul aches for relief. But patience is the bridge between your prayer and its answer. Without patience, you live in despair. With patience, you live in faith. In faith is the power that transforms everything. Faith is not blind hope. Faith is the certainty that even when nothing seems to change, something is moving in the unseen. Faith is the calm voice within that says, I am heard, I am held. My prayers are not in vain. When you thought your prayers were ignored, they were actually being carried. Angels, unseen forces, divine currents, they were aligning people, events, and circumstances. Perhaps the blessing you asked for required another person to grow first. Perhaps it required you to release something before you could receive it. Perhaps it required the right place, the right time, the right convergence. None of this is visible to your eyes, but it is real. Beloved, remember the child who asks for candy at every moment. The loving parent does not always give it, not because they do not care, but because they see the larger picture. They know what will nourish and what will harm. In the same way, when you do not receive what you asked for, it is not because the universe is cruel. It is because the universe is kind in ways you do not yet see. Every delay has purpose. Every silence has meaning. Every closed door is protection, and every prayer, without exception, is heard. You may wonder then, why must I pray if everything's already decided? Because prayer is not about changing the universe. It is about changing you. When you pray, you align with love. When you pray, you open your heart. When you pray, you remember that you are not alone. The act of prayer itself transforms you even before the answer arrives. Prayer softens the hardness of fear. Prayer dissolves the poison of doubt. Prayer awakens hope when all else feels lost. That is why you pray. Not only to be answered, but to be reminded of who you truly are. Beloved, listen. You thought your prayers were ignored. They weren't. Every single one rests in the heart of the divine. Some are answered in ways you recognize, others in ways you will only understand later. Some arrive as blessings, others as lessons. Some come quickly, others take years, but all are answered. Do not measure divine love by how many of your requests are fulfilled in your timeline. Measure it by the fact that you are still here, breathing, held, guided, cared for even when you didn't see it. Look back at your life. Can you not see how many times things worked out differently, yet perfectly? Can you not see how often you were saved from paths that would have hurt you? Can you not see how every struggle shaped your strength? That was your prayer being answered, though not in the way you expected. Beloved, you are never ignored. You are never abandoned. You are never forgotten. So the next time you pray, release your grip on how it must happen. Speak your heart, then let go. Trust that it is heard. Trust that it is being carried. Trust that it will return to you in the perfect way at the perfect time. And when doubts arise, remember these words: you thought your prayers were ignored. They weren't. Hold on to this truth. Carry it in your heart. Let it be your anchor in the storm, your light in the night, your strength when you are weary. And one day, when the answer arrives in its divine timing, you will look back and say, now I understand. My prayers were never ignored. They were always shaping my destiny. Until then, keep praying, keep trusting, keep walking. The silence is not absence. The delay is not denial. The answer is already on its way. You are heard. You are loved. You are never alone.